Hello, welcome to the program on our Thursday night Bible prophecy update. So, I am going to be talking about Bible prophecy. Of course, I sound like Harris when I said that. So, first of all, I'd like to welcome y'all to my channel. This is a Bible prophecy update for the 24th of October 2024. So the war or attack from Israel against Iran has been postponed until a later date. We don't know what date that is. I can probably guess, but we don't know for sure. I mean, it could be for the element of surprise due to the fact that United States gave away Israel's intel, information that they wasn't supposed to share with anybody else. Well, they shared it with Iran, and they gave them heads up. So Israel had to reconfigure their attack strategy. And it makes sense. The only problem is if Harris wins the election, then that ends up running into her. And no telling what type of administration she's going to run. We can kind of guess that she's going to be, from what we've seen and the red flags that have been thrown up, that she's going to be anti-Israel. The more further down the line we get with Democratic presidents, they move away from Israel. So, with that being said, we're going to focus in on a few things on today's program. And one of them is the election. So, I'm kind of torn in the election. I voted yesterday. I dropped my pamphlet off. I got to get my wife going this weekend. And that is that's a whole different program by itself on why I believe that Democrat or Republican sometimes gets the same results when it comes to abortion. So if you're basing who you're going to vote for off abortion, I'm just going to hit it straight at the nose. I'm going to come at you. And I'm going to say that it's hard to figure out because just because one says, and I can see where people is coming from, when they say full-term abortion versus, taking, the states being able to determine, are we going to have abortion or are we not going to have abortion? Technically, you still have abortion. And like I said, it's another program by itself. But anyway, as far as the United States is concerned, without being punished on the algorithms of YouTube, I like to say that common sense would tell you that if somebody hates America, they shouldn't be president. And as far as if you go back to all the presidents since Reagan, let's say after Reagan, with the exception of Jimmy Carter probably made some money. These presidents become big. Well, I won't say billionaires, but doggone, they get a lot of money for being president. And it ain't because they get paid $400,000 a year. It's because of what transpires after they're president. Matter of fact, they can go speak. And they can live off just the speaking alone, let alone book arrangements and doing other endorsements I mean, the presidents of the United States can set themselves up while in office to live like fat cows. And I wouldn't eliminate no president besides probably Donald Trump. Donald Trump was already rich. He doesn't need any money. So if you're being president because you're trying to become rich, it's a get rich quick scheme. Well, for Harris, it probably is, because she probably has no business being there. But let me get to this, and not turn it into a talk show. Let me get to this. Whoever wins on November 5th was placed there by God. Let me repeat. Let me grab the Bible so y'all won't throw nothing at me. Whoever wins, and I'm saying this even when I voted, whoever wins was placed there by God. And somebody says, well, of course Trump is going to win. Well, maybe not. I guess we can backtrack for a minute. What would be the globalists' will? What would they want? And let's go there for a minute. But let's go over some Bible prophecy, and then I'm going to come back to that for sure. So let's talk about the New Jerusalem. And I want to make a comparison of the New Jerusalem. And I'm going to share my screen. I am not used to hitting one button and they just come on, but anyway. So the New Jerusalem. Now, let me tell y'all this building. I did some. I looked at this weird looking building. Let me see if there's a picture of it. He kind of got. This is Jeffrey Grinder's website, but this is that big long tower thingamajig that goes all the way clear across the desert in Saudi Arabia. And it's supposed to be like a city. And I think they're in competition with the 15-minute cities across the globe. And the thing I want y'all to realize is this, and let me not get in trouble with YouTube, is the Maui fires, if you want to call it that. I call it lasers. The Maui fires, where you can paint your roof blue and it passes your house, to me was not what it appeared to be. And I heard of these 15-minute cities just this year. I haven't heard of it before, but this reminds me of that. But it is built in the desert, and it doesn't rely on anything other than its own construction. Now, 15-minute cities aren't going to be this way. It's going to be more American style. But this thing is weird. This is like from another planet. I mean, if you didn't know nothing about this construction, and you drove up on this construction, you know, like you're going to really be driving a car, but you drove up on this construction, it'd be like you in Mars. You clearly in the desert, you drive up on this thing, and it looks like some alien that's going to come out the building and nano, you know, type of thing. But the thing is, like this last hurricane, well, not the last hurricane, but Helene. The weird things that's been happening with that. And the way it destroyed lots of property. I'm not going to say anything about it other than it's just strange. And this is the goal for part of the goal of sustainable development is a 15-minute city. So people won't be wasting, gas and hairspray and causing things to go up into the stratosphere and choke people to death and kill the earth. Well, let's compare this thing to the New Jerusalem, because Saudi Arabia have more than just this building. They even have a cube. And I don't have no pictures of it or nothing, but they have this cube building that they're trying to build too. And they had to reduce the size of it because it was getting too technical. And Saudi Arabia is not only just this one. Wait, hold on. Not only does it have this one, it says thousands of laborers dying each year in the ongoing construction of the dystopian megacity Nomo. I can't even pronounce it. Nome, under the whip of Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman. Yeah, this is from Now the End Begins. It says that the people are dying over there building the building. Do I actually believe it? I don't know. This is the first time I've seen it just now, and I'm just seeing Now that the End Begins thing. I looked at this, and I was amazed that Saudi Arabia's construction. To me, it's an amazing feat for them to even come up with it. And it's not just those two projects. They're running like 5 or 6 or 7 projects. And I don't know the Crown Prince's reason for it, other than the globalists are trying to bring everybody into a smaller area so they can manage the world. Now, let me give you some facts and figures, which they're not really facts and figures. This is just me off my memory. But you could take every human being and move them into Texas. I don't know about that. I mean, I've heard that before. It's Texas. I mean, I've drove around Texas before, not from one end to the next, north to south to east to west. But yeah, I've drove in Texas. I heard it's pretty huge. Now, is it really true that you can fit everybody in the world, 8 billion people in Texas? I don't know about all that, but I know in that case you can fit 8 billion people in America. Duh. I ain't the smartest guy in the world, but I ain't the dumbest either. I'm just joking, man. But look, we got 8 billion people, and if you drive in the United States, it's land after land after land after land after land after land. And I was a kid, and I would wonder I even wonder it now. I'm in Spokane, Airway Heights, Washington, Spokane, Washington. And I drive to Seattle, and I'm like, that's a lot of land. Why don't they just build cities over here too? And the Mother Earth thing, we just care about the earth, and humans are destroying it. While humans, we're criticizing humans for using hairspray and cooking pan stuff. That's what I used this morning to make my eggs. And we're destroying the atmosphere. with cow farts and cat farts and human farts. I don't know. And we get ostracized because we're destroying the atmosphere while the rich drive around in their jets and go everywhere with their jets, everywhere with their limousines, and nobody says anything because they're rich. And they're not going to say anything. They don't even say anything about on the news about things that are important because who owns the stations? Anyway, so with that being said, let's move on. So, a major department store bans the word Christmas from its almost century-old gift catalog to the fury of workers. I mean, this has been going on for a while. They've been saying, we don't say Merry Christmas, we just say, Happy Holidays, and anything else other than Merry Christmas. Well, Merry Christmas, I love Christmas. It's probably my second best holiday. However, I never get nothing besides for my wife, but I don't really care. I just like giving stuff, around Christmas. I like Christmas. The only problem with Christmas is it's become commercialized. And if his baby Jesus is born, the Messiah of the world who saved the world from their sins, and we got Santa Claus and Christmas trees. I don't think. I kind of find it hard to believe that Satan's not in the picture with some people's conversations. I'm not saying Satan should be around every corner, but I think we eliminate him so much that we see things in the natural, and the war is against the enemy. And when we see things crazy like this, like we see things that are off, in myself, I'm like, that's the only person I could think of that would like, when you get, that's changing the subject, but still on the same subject. When you get different entities thinking the same way, then it's a good possibility that somebody's up here pulling the strings. And I know, I get it. We treat it as natural. Like, how dare they take and ban the words, Merry Christmas. How dare they? It's the devil. It's the devil that's banning this. It's not humans. So, what's the big deal? It's been happening for a while, so it's a big deal, of course. So, India has a tropical storm too. Once you believe that these storms are worldwide, then you understand Luke 21, where it says that the seas and the waves roaring. Now, here's something I want to talk about. Is what is this going to look like just before Christ returns? Really before he returns. At the end of the 7-year tribulation period. You talking about the mountains being removed, islands with people on it being removed, catastrophic earthquakes, and the whole world would be underwater. Well, not underwater like the flood, but most mountains will be collapsed. That's crazy. So anyway, So a sign that we're in the end times is the sea and the waves roaring. And like I said, we've seen that this year as well. Okay, so that they're saying that the air defense system, THAAD air defense system, won't protect Israel from future Iran strikes. I mean, that first attack on Israel was terrible. And I don't know if God just protected Israel or Israel's technology is just that good or both, or Iran's just completely terrible. Suck. I mean, I don't know what other word to use. Bad. I tend to believe that Iran uh, did not do anything because God's timing, it wasn't God wasn't ready for it to happen. Just like I said, ask you guys, just like I said with the president of the United States, God is in control of this stuff. So God is in control of everything that happens. And the Bible calls it perilous times. And Israel is far capable of taking care of itself with God. All things are possible, and God's going to protect Israel because we know Bible prophecy, and that's how we know that Israel's not going to be defeated, not in that aspect. So what is going to happen in the near future? What's going to happen with Israel and its enemies in the near future? Well, the discouraging part is that us Bible prophecy people who have been waiting for Jesus Christ to come back are sitting on the edge of our seats and wondering when. And some of us are went to go play with the cows in the backyard, and some of us are continuing on watching, and some of us are entering into the world again, and not to, and some of us have gotten tired of waiting. And, God said, remember Lot's wife. But, everything's going to happen or the way God said it's going to happen. Let me share the screen with you guys. So Revelations 22:12-14. And behold, I come quickly, and my reward is with me to give every man according to his works shall be. It says, I come quickly. So when you see all these things Jesus is talking about, when you see these things, look up. Well, when you see these things, he says, at that point, behold, I come quickly. And, as far as time is concerned, we were considering that. People were considering that the time. I hear people on Facebook and social media, and even in around me, at work or at church or whatever, and they say time is going by really fast. And we got daylight savings time, spring forward, fall back. So it's fall back. We're going to gain an hour of sleep. But it gets dark outside. I got to when I work, I have to take my first order. It's dark outside. I mean, I hate that. Matter of fact, it's going to be dark into 7 o'clock. So time is fast. And, there's a saying And Albert Einstein actually was the one who said it. It says time is relevant. And a lot of times, if you're sitting under a full moon with your girlfriend or a boyfriend or whoever you like, significant other, as a teenager or as a young man or woman, time goes fast when you're in a place where you don't want it to go slow. I mean, you don't want it to go fast. And you're having a good time. And then time goes slow when you're in a place where you really don't want to be. Well, at least it appears to be that way. Sometimes it's the opposite on both sides. But time's relevant. It says, behold, I come quickly. So the way the world is set up is that the internet and the life, the structure of life, the anxieties of life, the fears of life, the happy, the joys of life, all these things come together, and when you're doing something, even watching a 5-minute video, 5-minute video goes like that. You watching a 30-minute show, 30-minute show goes like that. Or if you're reading a book, if you don't have a TV, you're reading a book. Time goes fast. I mean, you watching a documentary, time goes fast. You're out to, you're having dinner at the table with your family, time goes fast. And I mean, not to mention the polar shifts and all this other stuff might be contributing to and I heard a scientific fact that the Earth is sort of speeding up, and don't give me the lie about the facts and figures, but the Earth is speeding up now. I believe God might be the one who's doing it, and it might even fit into the point where He says that the days are cut short in the tribulation period. And it is a one point in the Bible where it says that the sun would go down at 12 o'clock. And I'm pretty sure it's because of, things that are happening scientifically. Well, I don't want to say scientifically, but that's being caused the sun to go down. It could be anything from the earthquakes and the volcanoes that are causing it to happen, or to be more like it, the Earth's tilting in a certain direction. I know that sounds kind of foolish, but it might be the reason why that is happening. Okay, so what else we got here? I guess I better take this thing off the screen for a minute so I can find some. Final. So I know some of y'all think Harold Turner is part of the Ku Klux Klan and he can't stand Israel, but you know what? I get my information from where I can get it from, and if he's more accurate than anybody, you say, "Well, you gonna get it from him?" No, not necessarily. It's probably the first time I ever brought him up, and I kind of didn't bring him up because of that fact. I don't really too much listen to people who don't like Israel. I really don't. I like Israel. I love Israel. I love God's people. I love the church. I love people, even the backsliders. But yeah. So Russia's being bullied, and Russia's a bully. Make sense of that. Massive cyber attack going against Russia's foreign ministry. Y'all know doggone well. You've been hearing too many of these things about this cyber attack stuff, so you know it's coming, and it's probably going to really hurt Americans. This is people, I'm going to switch screens for a minute. This is us. I'm going to make a picture of AI of people just walking around. What are you doing over there? Just hanging around. Just walk. What? people could just make like a frame and tie it to our heads, because that's what happened. I'm saying us because I catch myself, and I'm trying to wean myself off the bottle, off the cell phone, and we don't even realize, man. Y'all realize I'm 55 years old, and I'm not 70 or 80, apparently. I mean, I don't know. My skin's not wrinkly enough to be considered that. But if you really think about it, I was here in the 70s, 80s, 90s, 2010s, and now 2020s, whatever you want to call it. And I've seen things. I mean, like I say, I'm not the oldest person, so I'm probably watching this video. It's probably some 80-year-olds watching this video. But I've been here when there was no internet. And some of y'all have been here when there's no internet. And some of y'all have been here when there was no Facebook, at least. And some of y'all have been here when there was no artificial intelligence. So, could we survive without the technology that we didn't have 30, 40 years ago? And try taking a teenager's cell phone and then come back and ask me to answer that question for me. This one teenager wrecked his mom's whole apartment complex building. Or apartment. I mean, he trashed that thing. And it don't have nothing to do with what I'm talking about, does it? But y'all know what I'm saying. Everything relies on this. And it's the domino effect. Like, even the gas systems, gas stoves, and, everything in the house is wired, and the only thing that doesn't go by it is fire, like the fireplace, and maybe a shortwave radio, and some devices that use batteries, right? So try this on for size. EPM bomb, along with the cyber attacks. Now, you talking about bad? Now, I don't think people really get how bad the tribulation period is going to be. I mean, just let that sink in for a minute. Because I want to give you both correlates. That the tribulation period is something where you can't be comfortable. Not even the rich. Eventually, when you really if you grasp this concept, that in 7 years from the start of the tribulation period, the rich will be asking the caves and the rocks to fall on them. So the next time you decide to admire, or you and I decide to admire the rich, think about that Bible scripture in Zechariah, I believe it is, and Isaiah, and probably Revelations, the rich asking the rocks to fall on them. And you probably won't feel so bad about your status. So I'm still talking about this system that Israel has up. I call it, anytime you got a powerhouse like Russia gathering together with other nations to come down to invade you, and you're the one to get smoked, only if they knew. But to give Putin some credit, God pulled him down. He had to put hooks in his jaw to bring him down. And I think people don't realize that a lot of times the bad guy you can see the hypocrisy in the world leaders in the system that the media and how people come against Israel, because America uh, destroyed, not they smashed Iraq. And I love my country. I fought for my country. I was in the army for 12 years. But sometimes you still have to have your morals. Sometimes you got to have a sense of compassion. And when you go into a nation and just flat out destroy it and then turn around, I don't care who's your president. I don't care if it's the president talking about a former president. Your country went into a nation and smashed it and had no reason to. At least Israel has a reason. Now, I'm praying for the Palestinian people, and I'm praying for the Lebanese people, and I'm definitely praying for God's people. But any of these people can be God's people. Iran can be God's people. Iraq can, Russia people, everybody, Jesus died for all. And Israel is a blessing. If you bless Israel, you're blessed. If you curse Israel, you're cursed. So when we talk about, the Iranian hypersonic Kadbar Shukan 2 can invade. How you spell EVADE? Tad with ease. Why did they misspell that? Or I'm just an idiot? I'm probably just an idiot. Oh, oops! I ain't supposed to do that. My bad, y'all. My bad. I was just trying to read the caption here. I was just trying to read the caption. There's no way to increase it. I was just trying to read the caption to see if y'all can help me figure out what the heck that spells. Invade, EVADE. Evade. Okay, evade. About that. Oh, got it. That doesn't look. My brain is not calculating evade like you're evading the cops. Evade. Okay, whatever. All right, so what's next? So economics. Let's talk about. This is my favorite subject. Nobody seems to be interested in it. But anyway, President. I'm interested in. Of course, I'm interested in Jesus Christ coming back and stuff like that. But I'm still kind of interested in who are the 10 kings. I'm always kind of interested in that, but I don't know why, because we're not going to be here for that. Now, let me talk about Elon Musk for a minute, and let me tell y'all. I'm gonna give y'all my honest opinion about him. Let me grab a water. I could picture Elon Musk as one of those characters in a movie who turns out he starts off good and he ends up bad, or he was a poser all the time. I never got into the Elon Musk thing because to me he's just too rich and he's too smart. So the devil ain't gonna let him just pass. He said the devil's not gonna give Elon Musk a pass. Come on, you guys. The devil's not gonna give Elon Musk a pass. There's no way the devil's gonna let Elon. What rich person do you know that the devil is gonna leave alone? Just think. I just want y'all to think about that for a minute. Like. Even Solomon, who's supposed to have been one of the richest men to ever live, well, at least that's what they say. I don't know if the Bible ever said that, but it might have. Did the Bible ever say that? I don't know if a rich man that to that caliber is going to work for the good. And remember, the Antichrist comes out good too at the beginning, even though the Bible calls him the man of sin and the son of perdition and that wicked one. But Elon Musk, I mean, he's designing robots, and it's kind of creepy because Will Smith had a movie, and I watched that movie. And Will Smith in that movie, Will Smith even says, crooked as Will Smith is said, he's weirdo, but as crooked as he said, he was like, oh, I don't know if we should really be celebrating robots. Y'all see those robots, those cars that like park outside of the building, and they in this parking lot, and these cars go pick up, I don't know what they do, they go pick up people or whatever, or they drive by themselves, and they're bumping into each other, and they blowing the horn at night, and people can't sleep. I was watching this one video of this guy, and he's saying, I can't sleep at night. Oh my, they just blow, and they blow, and when they're done, they I think it's quiet, and they stop blowing. I felt sorry for the guy because I'm a noise guy. Y'all see I got these earphones on. Now I got these earphones on for nothing else but noise. My kids or the people upstairs or whatever. I don't have the... And I know people they believe in Elon Musk to be this good guy, but folks, I can picture those robots. I don't know what they're going to do with them, but I can see those robots being used. Give them a couple weapons. And it's even creepy about it, as I thought about this last night, is you see how their face is? I can picture, let me see if y'all can see the cursor, their face. I can see their face, and then all of a sudden when he decides to go online with them, they all get their own like face image inside of that block. That would be even creepier, wouldn't it? So, how strong are these robots? Did you ever see, I see commercials, and I don't know if those AI generated or not. They be working in the plantation. These robots be working, and they be cutting cotton and cotton picking, wheat chopping. I saw one robot was doing construction. And I don't know, like I say, I don't think AI generated can be that. One of them looked fake. As fake as $2 bill, $3 bill, rather, because $2 bill is for real. But it looked at fake. And not saying that there's. I've seen about good 10 videos of robots working. One of them's got to be real. Now, out here where I live at, Amazon. A guy got hurt at the Amazon factory, and the word out was robots. Something to do with robots. Now, I don't know if maybe he was on the assembly line and there was a robot that tripped him or something, or he got beat up by one of these robots. Well, anyway, I could see these robots working for the New World Order. Oh, oops. Did I say that? Oops. I hope they don't have no caption down at the bottom of my videos. So, this is the history of the... But yeah, I could see these things working for the system, for the Antichrist. Yeah. I think they'll be like they'll make them look like bigger, more muscular. But yeah, I could see that because they want them, he might use these robots for like, working in somebody's house or working in somebody's business and stuff. But I think there's a possibility if he doesn't do it, somebody else is doing it now, or the government is doing it now, where they have these strong, big robots. And then look at the car. That box-looking car? My wife was making fun of it when I went to the hospital with her to get her blood drawn. And and we passed by one of those Tesla tank looking garbage can cars, and she's like, "Look at it, that's ugly." And I can see the police. That looked like a police vehicle to me, and I can see all of these gadgets, like even the big. It's like a van, like a cruiser, and it was in the iRobot movie. The same type of van was carrying people in it, so I can see that happening. Um, and people, I think we're so gullible about everything, that we're like, oh, Elon Musk, he's so awesome, and he's gonna save the world, and he's going for Trump, and I'm like, man, I don't trust none of them, really, I don't. And it's just like kind of like Hollywood. I mean, Hollywood is just like unbearable. I've been doing like over the last 3 years, I watched a lot of documentaries on like even just the early 60s, singing groups, and the music groups, and just Hollywood by itself, and just even the regular actresses that you probably would think like perfectly fine in the 40s and the 50s. No, man, they were like the Three Stooges were just that. Three Stooges. I mean, they were like the kids from the Little Rascals. Like, the devil works in that area because he can mold generations, just like Adolf Hitler said, and just like Garbo, his second in command, or his news age, over the press. I forgot what they call it, but he says if you repeat something often enough, frequent enough, people will believe it. Like, there is no weapons of mass destruction. There is no weapons of mass destruction. There is no place like home. There is no. Yeah, people will believe it. If you say it often enough, people believe it. It's kind of like they did like a test on that. 2020 wasn't just 2020 wasn't just what we know to be, but I think they were doing much more tests than we want to lead on to. And even Trump derangement syndrome. Like, I worked at a treatment center, and the kids there, like, I can't stand Trump. And you swear, man, if you said the wrong word, they would kick your tail. Well, not mine, but, they beat each other up because Trump was the worst thing since sliced bread. And then they say he's racist, and then you go on Google and look at him hanging out with black people like Jesse Jackson and Wesley Snipes and Oprah Winfrey. Oh, he's racist, ain't he? He used to have black girlfriends. How is he racist? And then it kicks my tail that Christians would even African American, black, whatever you call it, black Christians would entertain the fact of division by race. When pick up your Bible, where it says there is neither Jew or Gentile, black or white, female or male, we all one in Christ. And it's amazing how these politicians and these elite will turn us against each other in a heartbeat just to get by their agenda. And their agenda is far deeper than I want to lead on to believe. I mean, man, we want to lead on to believe. Man, it's bad. And a lot of teenagers, especially young ladies, they're suffering from problems because of image. Image, they want to be smaller, they want to be this, they want to be that. And I think some form or shape or size of even men go through the same thing, but just a different rate. Anyway, we have a society that needs Jesus, and they don't know it, and the society is completely turned against God. And the longer God takes, the longer Jesus takes, and he could take his time. He's God, but the longer he takes, the worse it gets. It used to be like it gets. I mean, it's always probably been to a certain extent. Satan was always working, but as the time speed up, the increments of getting society getting worse have shrunk. So instead of being every 20 years, people, they didn't even kiss on TV until just, 30, 40 some years ago. And different things started happening. You can use the TV. I know that's a bad illustration because people think the TV is of the devil. But a good illustration is to say, what did they allow at the movie theater and television? Because remember, it's got to come into your house, and if your kid's sitting there watching it. So the increments could have been 40 years. Because, if you go back 100 years, I'm pretty sure there's people drinking and boozing and killing and raping and doing everything, robbing banks. But to what increment? So it's getting smaller and smaller and smaller. So now we're at, instead of just weeks, we're at minutes, where the world's getting worse and worse. The Bible says that knowledge will increase. And knowledge has increased. As a matter of fact, this AI stuff, because I've been looking into the AI stuff, and it's just, it's going so fast. I mean, no telling what it's going to be about a year from here. The AI. I mean, I got it. I was looking at the AI probably about 8 months ago, and it's changed since I looked at it that quick. And it's real. I was just looking at it before I did this video. So, I mean, it's smoking. It is smoking. So what do I believe? Who, like I'm special or something? Well, who isn't that special? What do I think is going to happen in the next couple of months or in the next couple of weeks? I fear for our nation. I fear for it. 55 years, I lived a century, half a century. And I mean, to me, my heart is broken because of this nation. Now, am I going to worship the nation, or I'm worshiping Jesus Christ? But I still have to say that my heart is broken because I see it and I can't believe it that some of the silliest stuff, I mean, I don't even know what to say anymore. Like, I was listening to the person who's running for president today, and my wife is doing she was studying in the corner with the computer on, and she's studying. And I turned it up. I was trying not to turn it up too loud because she was studying. And she said something. She was getting interviewed, and she said something, and my wife just busted out laughing because she just said, she almost started crying. She said, I'm sorry, I can't. I was like, I'm sorry, babe, I didn't mean. She started laughing, man. She's like, I cannot believe this. I mean, that means you could probably pick anybody off the street to become president. I mean, just think about it, though. Just think about what we had. And yeah, I know. Let me not speak evil. I'm not speaking evil. I'm just saying. I mean, correct me if I'm speaking evil. Maybe you guys can help God correct me. But I just shake my head. I don't mess with Biden as much because he's old. My problem is, why do y'all let him be president if y'all know he had those faculties? And that should say a lot. Because if you got somebody who can't even barely get off the stage, that should send red flags up to everyone. But most of the people are carrying on business as usual, eating and drinking and giving in marriage, and until Biden can't get off the stage. And it's just amazing to me how Soup Salad Lady, I'm, I just don't understand. I don't understand. I understand that. The reason why I understand them too is because if you want to stay in power and you're behind the stage and you're the leprechaun, I mean, you're controlling the Wizard of Oz and you're behind the stage controlling everything. You want somebody like that. And what they didn't want is Wilmore or the crazy dude from California, because then they'll be calling their own shots. They want somebody they can control. And that's exactly what they're getting. Somebody that they can control. So anyway, unfortunately, I don't think that election's going to be over the first night. So let's say, are they going to fix it? I better be quiet because I'm going to run my mouth to a point where I'm going to get in trouble. So let's just say the election happens. Are we going to have a clear-cut winner on the day of the election? Probably not. So those who are looking forward to the election, and I can't wait to the election, will sit back and relax or whatever you're going to do, because there is not going to be a result the first day of that election. I can guarantee you that. There's not going to be a first day. So, other than that, I just want to say enjoy the election, because that's about all you're going to get. And the bad thing about it is somebody probably come out on top, and y'all know who that is, and the other side is not gonna, they're not gonna settle for they'll ask the questions. Are you guys gonna be satisfied with the results of the election and not do nothing? Like, okay, are you going to be satisfied with the election? Probably not. They're not. And just like what happened in, where was that country? Was it Cuba? Or I can't remember what country it was, but yeah. So anyway, God bless you guys. Thank you guys for coming on. I appreciate it. I can't share any of those I can't share any of those comments because I got the wrong software. I don't know how to. I don't think. I mean, there is a way to share it, I believe. Let me see. Nope. I can't share it. Sorry about that. I can share it with my other software, but I haven't. I got to get that renewed. Anyway, God bless you guys. I hope you guys have a wonderful rest of your weekend. I'll see you guys Sunday night. And then, just like I did tonight, but shorter videos coming up next week. Just 20 to 30 minute videos. And I got a timer right here to time it, so I won't go overboard. And, and I'll be doing those videos, news videos, for the rest of eternity and until Jesus comes or I choke on the bone. Anyway, so they told me not to do this, but I'm going to do it anyway. If you like the video, like it and subscribe to the channel if you're not subscribed. And please join me on the next broadcast. God bless.